It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kenny the Jet Smith. In this game, we'll see the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. Oh, we get to check out Kawhi Leonard in this one. Hard to believe he was once known solely for his defense. He's made huge strides on the offensive end.
And those huge strides, Ernie, on the offensive end has made him an MVP candidate. I'll tell you, it's great efficiency, great defense, two-way player, as they say now, which when Shaq was in the league, everyone was a two-way player, but two-way player right now.
I don't believe you and Ernie both disrespected this guy. If you're going to say his name.
I never disrespected.
If you're going to say his name, say it right. Sugar Kate Leonard,
Oh.
three-point shot went from good to great. That's just one of his ways he's developed his offensive
Who, what,
game.
when, and Kawhi.
So now saying a guy's name correctly, Kawhi Leonard, is disrespecting him?
You got
I
to
don't
give him the
think
whole
so.
name. Like Ernie the Man Johnson.
Oh, the man.
Kenny the Jet Smith.
I'll agree with that.
Shaquille the real deal. Eats cereal with 3 meal O'Neal.
You know what? I kind of like what Brent Bones Berry has had to say about
What's that?
Kawhi Leonard. That when he's on you, you're on the Kauaian island.
Boo.com
I like that too.
/
I
don't
like
you
that.
ever say that. That's
like
terrible. Stop it.
I like Sugar
That's
K.
terrible.
I like
That's terrible.
Kawhi.
He's one of our colleagues, and
No.
you're killing him.
Kawhi, would you even think that's something funny?
Oh, when Kawhi would you
Kawhi
think that happened?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
no.
my. All right, whatever. Kevin Harlan.
Why
standing
are we
by.
here?
Kawhi, are we?
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Looking at San Antonio, they took the win in their last game against the Heat in Miami.
It seems odd to say, given that they won that pretty easily, but really they did not look especially strong in that game.
And you know as well as I do that the coaches had a long laundry list of things that they could have done better that night, but still, it turned out to be a good win for them.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, Pau Gasol is one of the real humanitarians in the NBA. An ambassador for UNICEF, he concerns himself with a lot more than just basketball. Jerry West said of Gasol, you can feel the warmth, the goodness in him. A real gentleman. If you're around him, you can't help but like him. Kevin?
A gentle giant, David, for sure. Thanks. And these teams are good at grinding it out in the half-court sets. Brent, what type of player flourishes when the game slows down like it is now?
When you have a guy, Kevin, who can break down his primary defender at any point in a half-court set, that's when you're in trouble defensively. He's looking beyond the first defender and ready to set up the next play.
And so off the tip, it's Utah. And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Hill pairs up with Hood in the backcourt. Favors and Gobert, the defensive big men pair. And it's Hayward in at the 3 slot. Now here's Hayward. Really played well against the Clippers in his last outing. Offensive rebound. Nice ball movement by Utah. Hood for 3. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Utah's on defense. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
Impressive to see that type of offensive onslaught on the road. They had the crowd stunned. Those fans couldn't believe how thoroughly their guys got dismantled tonight.
Here's Hayward. That's tipped. And a slam dunk by Favors.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Parker outside. At the elbow, it's Gasol. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your point guard. Parker distributing the ball wonderfully on that possession.
Favors with the screen. Hill dishes to Hood. And it's Hood again missing.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get into a flow offensively. And you can see the break slowed down for him to kind of pick his spot. And boy, was he open.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
To the paint. Here's Leonard. No good there. Hayward with some nice D. Jazz have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And the jam by Hayward.
And that kind of defense ain't going to get it done.
Gee, we don't see those kinds of dunks out of him all the time, but we know he's got it in him.
Well, any guy can throw it down against air defending him. Plenty of room, so not so amazing. What does amaze me, though, is that no one came over to contest the play.
And that last replay courtesy of Kia.
Well, he could not have been any more wide open, guys. Wow, I bet he nails that shot next time he gets a clean look.
And that one's good by Favors.
Well, he approaches the rim strong there and then flips up the teardrop.
Parker outside. At the elbow, it's Aldridge. Goes up at the stripe. Aldridge can't get that one to fall.
Terrific defense. They definitely read the scouting report on this guy and could not have played him more perfectly there.
Here's Hood. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. And Rodney Hood, talk about making a jump from year 1 to year 2. Greg, he improved in almost every facet of the game.
And Hood came into the league with a reputation as a dead-eye shooter, and that's been the case from both long and mid-range off the bounce. What has surprised some people, though, is his advanced ball handling and his ability to find open teammates. A relatively quick study there. Still a ton of upside to Hood's game.
Both free throws good from Hood.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
Parker outside. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Parker. Drills it from outside. Parker's got a pair of threes now in the first quarter for the Spurs.
Well, Parker does not take many threes. When he does, you just have a feeling it's going in.
Up off the screen.
And taking a look here at the numbers on Pau Gasol. Coming off a terrific season. 5th in blocks, and he also finished the season in the top 10 in rebounding. It's just a terrific year on the glass.
Free throw good from Hood. And Brent, you look at how the Spurs played last season, and any other season they might have had the best record in the league.
Well, they did have the best record that Greg Popovich has had as a coach with San Antonio, with 67 wins. And it was under the radar because of the Warriors' historic mark last year with 73. But it was the first time in history that the NBA had 2 different 35-win teams at the midway point of the season. It set up the stage for an epic showdown, and really some people let down that never happened.
And the Utah Jazz, with all their young talent, a team that's been on the cusp in the Western Conference, I mean, they felt they were ready to make a playoff push, and acquiring some quality veteran leaders with George Hill, Joe Johnson, and Boris Diaw, I think is just what the doctor would.
And a slam dunk by Favors.
Whoa, that'll wake you up.
He is such a great athlete. Spurs trail by 4. Parker outside. The feed to Gasol. Outside Leonard. There's Parker with the 3. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 9 points for Tony Parker. And for the Jazz, Greg, do you like their moves this summer, adding all those veterans?
George Hill, I think, fits a need at the point guard, but can also play alongside Dante Exum. Boris Diaw, a skilled big man who fits well with Gobert and Derek Favors. And then Joe Johnson, a proven shooter and scorer in big-time possessions. So I think overall they did well.
Here is Parker, following the score by Rodney Hood. Aldridge kicks to Parker. Score the basket. His fourth. He's only missed 1 of his 5 shots tonight. Jazz have gone 5 of 8 from the field, shooting over 62%. To the middle. Here's Favors. And a slam dunk by Favors.
Well, he has a great ability to lead his man with the pass. Puts him in great position to score.
Basket counts.
And when you give Parker room to work his magic down inside, he knows how to finish with style.
Favors with the screen. Favors with the screen on Parker. Hill passes to Hood. Hayward from outside. San Antonio with the rebound. Entered on the wing. Lots of room. Doesn't go that time. And it's Utah the other way. Now Hayward. Hill with it. To the wing on the left. Shot clock at 5. Launches a 3. Again, the miss by Hayward. San Antonio's gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. Parker. And no good. Had a chance to take the lead. Utah's gone 0 of 3 from three-point land. Nothing yet going outside. And the call will be against George Hill. That is his first foul of the game.
Oh, great defense there. Anticipated the play and got there first.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. This is their first chance to take a look at the Jazz this season.
And they rolled over this team last season, beating them every time they faced off.
Yeah, it was a completely one-sided season series, and that was no surprise to anyone. This first game between them should give us an idea if they're on a little more even ground this season.
Well, I think they've always said speed, Brent, is a premium in this game of basketball.
Well, it's amazing by position who it is you think about, Kevin, with regards to their speed, because power forwards in this game today can take some long strides and really start a fast break with just a couple of steps. Probably one of the tougher covers in the league is Draymond Green in Golden State, with the way that he can play multiple positions and use his quickness against some of the big guys who try to defend what it is that he offers up.
Down low and stolen by Aldridge. Ginobili kicks to Gasol and stolen by Hood. They break it out 5 on 3. Gobert dishes to Hood. The Jazz with another miss.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
He muscles it in through the contact, and they call the foul. He's on his way to the free throw line.
And showing his trademark aggressiveness inside, Ginobili was not going to be denied. And really, the Spurs, for most of Manu Ginobili's career, have limited his minutes. Last season, the least minutes of his career, and the Spurs look to keep him fresh and healthy come playoff time so he can be a major contributor.
Burks, he's checked in for Utah. Exum comes in for Hill. That free throw good from Ginobili. And Manu has dealt with injuries through his career. The Spurs trying to rein him in at times. They've forbidden him to play for the Argentinian national team.
Over his strong protest, that roster for Argentina, known as the Golden Generation, with an incredible gold medal winning team and rightfully a huge source of pride for Manu Ginobili.
Now, here's Burks, following the miss by Tony Parker. Gobert. And he can't stop this drought. Another miss. And there's the call on Rudy Gobert. That is his first foul of the game. And the Spurs with some changes. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Gasol. Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Parker. Utah also making some changes. Ayo comes in for Gobert. And it's Johnson in for Derek Favors. Now here's Mills. They set the pick. He dishes it to Anderson. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Great positioning on the putback. And the Spurs lead by 4.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from the paint.
Here's Exum. Joe Johnston on the wing. And that's going to be a travel. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Jazz.
And they've really shied away from the mid-range. That's a new school style, and looking for shots beyond the arc and at the rim. Those tend to be far more efficient.
Spurs leading by 4. And Dante Exum picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. San Antonio making a switch here. Lee's checked in. Boris Diaz checked in for the Jazz. And Mills kicks to Ginobili. Inside. Out to Lee. The pass to Mills, and a clear foul there as he shot the triple. He'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Well, if Parker is the slower point guard at this point, Patty Mills comes in and definitely changes the pace for the Spurs. Out of Australia, a shoot-first guard who can hit off the bounce and off the catch. And so that three-point shooting ability puts pressure on teams. He's also a pest defensively, likes to get up and into guys.
That one is off. And Brent, you talk about Mills' ability to pressure defensively. Very quick, and he gets a lot of steals.
But sometimes he can get caught gambling at times, can Patty, but on the whole, a very capable defender, a bit of a gnat out there, and a valuable player when you consider he went undrafted out of St. Mary's of Moraga.
Good on the second free throw.
Really a great free throw shooter. It's unfortunate Mills gets to the line infrequently, partly because of the minutes.
And he nails the third.
And though the Jazz are, still developing that roster, they do have an identity. And the one area that's been constant for them is defense. #1 in the league a couple seasons ago, last year near the top as well. And so they're not going to be a fun team for you to play against if you have one of those high-octane offenses. Just doing the job on the backboard. And you know what? That's one of those heat checks if he's taking shots like that.
And even though he's been on a roll tonight, that one was a bit forced.
And that one drops.
Well, a unique skill set, a very unique body type, and that's complimentary. Diao can be a matchup problem inside.
And an interesting thing about the Jazz defense, as proficient, Greg, as they've been, one wonders why the team hasn't done better in the win-loss column over the last few years.
And Kevin, the problem is, as solid as they've been defensively, that's how challenged at times they are offensively in terms of just scoring the basketball. They've been hanging around the bottom of the league in that category for a while.
San Antonio shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
Both free throws good from Ginobili. And you look back, the Spurs, one of the very first teams to really scout the globe and, Brent, bring in international players.
Well, it's also interesting, Kevin, that the trend continues. Even last year in the 2016 draft, in the first round, we saw a lot of international players being snatched up as building blocks for their franchises moving forward. But the Spurs always have been successful at finding some hidden gems, and their general manager deserves a lot of credit for it.
Now, here's Anderson. 4 on the shot clock. For the 3. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. With a break in the action, we go to the 2K leaderboard to see the teams that excelled at slowing the pace down a campaign ago. #1, the Spurs. The Jazz, 2nd.
Yeah, if you want to see how hard these two teams play, just take a look at the points allowed a year ago. I mean, that is impressive.
Johnson attacking. And it's good. Fought through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
Well, it's 6'7", 240. Don't let the smooth game fool you. Joe Johnson is a hoss. Well, over a decade in the NBA, Joe Johnson, one of the most effortless scorers in the game. With his size, his skill, he is so tough to slow down.
And, Brett, we see Joe Johnson working in the post more and more, using that size to his advantage. He's fun to watch.
Well, he's a great scorer, Kevin, has a nose for the basket, and I think as his career has gone on here, playing with combo guards out on the perimeter, at the small forward spot, Joe Johnson can still generate points from the block.
Lyles, and good that time. Lyles got his first points of the night.
A fantastic move right there. Just that quick little reverse layup.
It's tipped. Diaw with the steal. Outside Hill. Here's Lyles. Here's Diaw. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here.
The barista, Boris Diaw, probably the most pass-oriented big in the NBA. So back when he played in Charlotte, Kevin, the new coach asked him if he wanted to be an all-star, and Diaw's response, not really.
And, Bray, you were talking about Diaw in Charlotte. The Bobcats waived him largely because of his reluctance to shoot.
Yeah, it was funny because they used to joke about the coaches asking for morning pass-arounds instead of morning shoot-arounds. So Diaw grew up idolizing Magic Johnson, and he's always been obsessed with passing the ball and making plays, sometimes a little too unselfishly.
Brent, I know you're interested in coaching. You've been approached by several teams in the league. You see some coaches who like to do platoon substitutions, others who prefer to stagger minutes and blend starters with reserves. Put on your coach's hat here for a second. How would you approach them?
Well, I think it has to do with who you have on your team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way to say I'll be a platooning coach no matter who it is that I have, because your first five may be good and your second five may be like the guys I play open gym with, and you don't want those guys in the game. So I'm always in favor of keeping one of your main stars on the floor as a conduit and the guy who can keep the rhythm of the offense going, help guys out, establish some confidence, and then swapping those guys out. And then obviously in crunch time, you're putting your best five on the floor to go at another team. But a lot of coaches have differing views on that. I love the fact that you can platoon guys. I'm not liking the wholesale
5 for 5.
5 for 5 shift change. We won't do that.
Okay. There's the pick. Johnson against Anderson. Now, here's Burks. He's guarded closely, and the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a three-point play.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
And looking at the Jazz roster, they're a well-balanced group. You see scorers, Greg, playmakers, rebounders, shot blockers, plenty of quality depth.
And they've done a great job of drafting. Many of the main pieces of the puzzle seem to be in place. The next step for me is, will one of these young core players emerge as a superstar?
Well, even in these limited minutes, Emmanuel Manu Ginobili continues to provide elite play at the shooting guard position, finds ways to impact the game. If he's not scoring, it's his playmaking and just his spirit that helped the Spurs in many instances.
He's made all 3 of his free throws so far. That free throw good from Ginobili. And Brent, do you think when it's all said and done that Ginobili has the chance to go down as the greatest sixth man in NBA history?
Well, I've checked the numbers on John Havlicek, and he might have something to say about that, but Manu was on a very short list of a guy who's accepted his role and then excelled at it to championship caliber play.
Both free throws good from Ginobili. And the stability of the San Antonio roster had always been one of their strengths, but with the departure of some of their veteran stalwarts, this Spurs team has a new look.
It's been really interesting how they've restructured what it is the franchise's foundation is going to be as they move forward. Obviously, Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge becoming the pillars of what the next 5 or 6 years of San Antonio Spurs basketball will be.
And the Spurs with possession after the miss from Joe Johnson. Mills passes to Lee, fires from 18, rebounded by the Jazz.
Really no excuse for him missing that one, guys. He has to knock that shot down.
Burks kicks to Diaw. Nice ball movement by Utah. Johnson dishes to Burks. And that misses. That would have put him up. San Antonio leading. Oh, that's blocked. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. .15 seconds left to play in the first. And here is Hill. 9 points last game out. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Spurs lead by 2. Live from the AT&TCenter in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And the Gasol brothers, Pau, talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother, and I'm proud of what he's become as a basketball player and as a man.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way 2 of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become 2 of the best centers in the NBA of this era.
Especially when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers. I mean, they traded him to Memphis for his brother, and that does all seem like fiction, doesn't it?
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
The roof is up right now, guys. It's raining in here. A lot of threes through the first.
Man, you get into that kind of zone, that's the feeling where you're invincible and it gets fun.
In a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court right now for the Spurs, the defensive duo of Green and Leonard make up the perimeter. Pau Gasol is out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Parker in at the 1 spot. Now, here's Gasol. He picked up 12 points in their last win against the Heat in Miami.
And how about the job he did rebounding as well, guys? I mean, just a dominant performance on the glass.
And Gobert with the basket on the assist by Hayward.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Tony Parker is in his 16th season in the NBA, and he says, if I'm healthy, hopefully I can play 20 seasons, and then I'll be ready to retire. My time will come soon, but I want to enjoy my last years in the NBA. Kevin, he said he obviously wants to finish his career as a Spur.
Thanks to you, that's so rare in any sport nowadays to spend your whole career with one team. Now, Green, after Dante Exum's three-pointer that didn't go. A nice shot by Gasol.
And Gasol excels from that mid-range area. If you leave him open from there, you're going to pay the price.
Hood, the pass to Exum. Outside Favors. At the top of the key, Hayward. It's rebounded by Leonard. Spurs leading by 4. Out to Parker. Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. Aldridge, no one around him. And it's good in the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 3rd assist on the night. Jazz trail by 7. Exum kicks to Favors. Now here's Gobert. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Clippers in Los Angeles.
You guys, in addition to that scoring, he was absolutely tenacious on the defensive end. A complete two-way game for him. Finished with 3 steals, I think, and that was a difference maker.
San Antonio's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. They set the screen. Parker with it. Now defended by Exum. This all setting the pick for Parker. To the middle. He's looking for Leonard and finds him. And the rejection by Favors.
And the defender getting caught in between there. Isn't sure which move Aldridge is going to and guesses wrong. And LaMarcus at 6'11" is capable of playing both the power forward spot and, as the league moves forward, the center position. He favors playing the 4, but that versatility was huge in the Spurs signing him and keeping him around.
2 shots.
Something every team would value.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Second player taken in the 2006 NBA draft, Aldridge has been an all-star multiple times and one of the game's most prolific scorers over the past decade.
And so LaMarcus Aldridge nails them both.
Not your typical big man free throws there. He's lights out.
Jazz trail by 9. Hood dishes to Favors. Back to Hood. Nice ball movement by Utah. To the paint. To halt the run. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And when you talk about Aldridge at the 4 or at the 5, Brent, which position do you think he's best in?
Well, Kevin, seeing the league going smaller and smaller, he's more skilled, I think, than most centers at that 5 spot. He's got great foot speed, lateral movement's good, and he can stay in front of the smaller players, and that enables him to stay big against small ball liners.
Just not happy with how his team is playing, and they just have been on the wrong side of this run.
Yeah, right now just getting barbecued. Maybe poor strategy, poor effort, could be both.
And now a look at Rudy Gobert here. A very nice season for him last year. 3rd in blocks. And he also finished the season in the top 10 in rebounding. It's just a terrific year on the glass.
Now Exum, quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Dishes it to Hood. 6 on the shot clock from 11 feet away. The Jazz with another miss.
Fantastic team defensive effort there. They made him uncomfortable taking that inside look, and it showed in the release. He has to back off on defense just a little bit. His team cannot afford to have him on the bench at this point in the game due to foul trouble.
And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Parker kicks to Leonard. And stolen by Hayward. Here's Exum out to Hood. They need this one. The 9-footer's on the mark. Hood's got 8. Here's Parker. He's got 13. Leonard on the wing. Rebounded by Hood.
And he's really having all sorts of problems with his jumper right now.
This is one of those slumps that you'll just probably want to shoot your way out of.
And so it's San Antonio with it. Only giving up 6 here in this quarter. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Back to Parker. Hayward against Leonard. Here's Green from 13 feet. It goes down. Green's got his first bucket in this one.
And don't look now. If there's anything Leonard could improve upon, it's getting his teammates more involved. Exhibit A, that assist.
Now here's Exum. Gobert with a screen on Green. Gasol with the steal. And Dante Exum picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his 3rd foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
Parker, right side. Passes it to Gasol. From 17 feet out, and the shot falls short this time.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Gobert with it. Hayward, right side. Rocket 6. Rejected by Gasol.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection.
Gasol with the steal. And now it's Leonard running. Here we go. All the way. Not going to go that time. Great D that time from Favors.
Okay, and he has not made one shot in this one. Has to be on his mind every time he's pulling up.
I tell you what, Derek Favors has arrived. I mean, the 3rd overall pick back in the 2010 draft. Never a doubt about the ability and the talent, but I think it took him a while to get comfortable playing at this level. And then the last 2 seasons, it feels like he's just kind of put it all together. It oftentimes takes young guys coming into this league a little bit of time to develop their niche and their identity, but once they do, boy, watch out.
First one falls for him. And so Favors nails both of them. San Antonio leading by 7. Parker outside. Outside Leonard. Green, the screen. Shoots off the screen. Gasol, no good. And talking about the improvements made by Favors, he's really added something to his game, Greg, every single year.
Great point. I mean, he plays the pick and roll beautifully now, whether it's rolling to the basket on offense or using his mobility to deter the pick and roll at the other end. I mean, the versatility to man both front court spots is a huge plus when you're playing matchups. If he can just stay healthy, he has the potential to become a perennial all-star.
And here is Aldridge after Dante Exum hitting the 3. Here's Parker. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Heat in Miami. Gasol. Again, the miss by Gasol. Jazz trail by 4. To the middle. Here's Favors. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Yeah, crafty pass inside gets him that nice look.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Starting.
And I tell you what, Gordon Hayward just steadily has grown into one of the better offensive players in the league. He does a great job of scoring it off the dribble. He's also at that small forward position, can be kind of a point forward, if you will, with his playmaking ability. And I like to call him, use a baseball term, he's like a 5-tooler. I mean, he does all the things you want a basketball player to do well on the floor. And to cap it all off, he is a great teammate as well.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Gasol. Lee comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Anderson, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. Now here's Anderson. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. Talking about Hayward's versatility on offense, some would say his ability to cover smaller, quicker players defensively is another reason his star is on the rise.
His ability to get stops on the ball as well as provide quick help to his teammates is really priceless. The question now is ceiling. How much better overall can Hayward get? Some think he's more of a number 2 guy than a superstar. Some will tell you the sky's the limit.
Free throws good. Lyle Manu Ginobili's checked in for San Antonio. He's off on the second. Brent, you had the chance to play under Coach Greg Popovich during your 4 seasons with the Spurs. Aside from the obvious accolades and plaudits, what stands out to you about him as a coach?
The one thing about Pop that stands out, Kevin, is the simple fact that the rhythm of the season is something that he has a tremendous amount of control over.
Had great feel for it.
There's no doubt about it. Pop's so good about understanding the feelings and the emotions attached to the game. And on top of that, the priority with which the game should have in your life. And that's the kind of player that they're looking for. They understand that the player has to understand the job, his accountability to his teammates, the role that he's asked to play, and then lastly, just how important basketball is in the grand scheme of things.
He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line. And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 12-3 run right now. Johnson against Anderson. Burks' shot is good. Burks has got the game tied up here for the Jazz.
And Joe Johnson unselfish with that play. You can call his number just about any time, but turning down a good shot for a great one, good on you, Joe.
Now here's Anderson. And here's Mills. Shot clock at 6. A 3-ball. Utah with the rebound.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky. He was off.
And Diaw kicks to Lyles. Good, and it's Diaw with the assist that time. Lyles got 5 points so far.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Now the dish to Ginobili. And the layup's good off the glass. 9 points in the game so far.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Burks kicks to Diaw. Johnson up top. Pass to Lyles. Tries it from 19. Rebound San Antonio. Lee's got his 3rd rebound on the night. Pass to Mills. Dedmon kicks to Ginobili. He feeds it to Mills. Drops in the tray. And now a 3-point San Antonio lead.
Wow, he's a serious catch-and-shoot threat really every time down the floor. Mills has to be accounted for by the defense.
Johnson, the pass to Hill. Yep, that one goes.
And they've had assists now on their last 3 baskets.
San Antonio's gone 5 of 9 when they put up the 3-point shot tonight. Ginobili kicks to Dedmon. Back to Ginobili. Now here's Mills. He's covered closely. From the arc. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. With this stoppage in play, we have a chance now to show you which teams led the league in 3-point percentage last year. The Spurs second.
Everything clicked for them last year, especially on the perimeter, and they shot a very high percentage. A lot of that due to their offensive schemes.
Diaw, the screen. Kicks to Burks. Now the pass to Lyles. Lets it go from deep, and the Jazz another 3. 6 changes of the lead here.
Yeah, both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
And Mills kicks to Dedmon. Here's Ginobili. It's rebounded by Boris Diaw. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession.
I tell you what, he clearly had a brain freeze on that one. You might just as well keep going straight to the bench.
San Antonio's gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Shots good by Mills.
And the more versatile Mills becomes offensively, the harder it will be to defend him. And Pop now in his second decade as head coach of the Spurs, closing in on the third decade with the team overall. Incredible to see that kind of longevity for a coach with one team.
Dedmon, hope they get it back. It's stolen by Hill. 55 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Mills with the steal. In transition, here comes San Antonio. Mills has got the ball. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill.
And you could tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Well, he had a jump on it, had a chance to make the play, just could not steal the deal.
Here's Ginobili. He picked up 15 points in their last win against Miami. Feeds it to Mills. Spurs working the ball around now. This is to Ginobili. Off the pick. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls. Ginobili's got 4 points now in the quarter. Utah trailing here. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Hill kicks to Lyles. Top of the key, Diaw. There's the feed to Hill. Knocked away. Ginobili with the steal.
Spurs, Mills at the line for 2.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
Free throw good. Mills. That one misses. Here's Hill. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. First trip to the line for him here.
He had 76% from the line a season ago, and most would consider that to be a success.
And that one misses. And he sinks the second. Just 4 seconds left in the first half. Here's Anderson. That falls. Nice feed that time for Manu Ginobili. Ginobili's got 3 assists now in this one. And the first half comes to a close. We've got a close game going on here. It's San Antonio up by 4. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Joined here with Quinn Snyder. Coach, your team has faced a lot of firepower from outside. How do you keep them from getting those 3-pointers off?
Well, one, they're making them. Hopefully we can get them where they're not open and they're contested and see if they're making that many of them then. But they're getting them a variety of ways. We just got to be better.
Play outside-in defense, right? Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. A fantastic first quarter from Tony Parker. He had 13 points and 4 assists. Kenny, what was your take on San Antonio?
Well, their reserves showed up tonight, not just on hustle plays, but in points. And that's what you got to do coming off the bench to maximize your minutes.
And Shaq, how do you think the Jazz were playing?
I love it. You know why I love it, Ernie? Because they're getting the ball inside and converting. not just sitting back behind the line shooting threes. See, that's kept the defense scrambling a little bit, unable to lock in on anything. Get it in, we'll kick it back out, then you shoot it.
So that'll do it for now as we send you courtside with Kevin Harlan and the rest of the 2K crew for the start of the second half.
We come back to San Antonio now with a look at the world-famous Riverwalk with its restaurants and boats and nightclubs and people. What's going on? And welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. More action in store as the players get ready to go, having a nice break to get hydrated with Gatorade. It's been a clinic from Tony Parker.
How about the magic touch he had on display there in that first half in terms of finding his teammates? Just a plethora of assists.
Yeah, funny to see him making these kind of plays because he thrives in other areas. Tonight, he's in share mode.
Checking out the group for Quinn Snyder to start the second half. Hayward and Favors holding down those forward spots. Hill pairs up with Hood in the backcourt, and it's Gobert in at the 5 down low.
And yeah, I get it. The goal defensively is to keep Kawhi from getting looks inside, but hey, you try that.
And following in the footsteps of Tim Duncan, Kawhi Leonard fits the Spurs mold of what a superstar player should be. Team first, defensive-minded, a stoic demeanor.
Well, he's not worried about the number of touches either, Kevin. It's when called upon, just be ready. Seemingly avoids the limelight, just like Timmy, and he's all about getting better, being the best player he can possibly be, and then winning big.
That one misses. And Brent, you won 2 titles playing for the Spurs. In a lot of ways, the model franchise in the NBA. What's their secret?
Well, Kevin, if I told you the secret, it wouldn't be one anymore. But really, it starts at the top with their general manager and, of course, Greg Popovich. When you continue the lineage that they've had between David Robinson and Tim Duncan, it's such a strong foundation for what it is that players are expected to do. And, of course, they define their roles every time a new player is with their ball club. It's been sustained success. And most teams, Kevin, now basing their systems on the Spurs model of continued success. Well, a tough year for Danny Green in 2015-16. The worst shooting numbers since his rookie season in the league. I expect a bounce back from him at some point. He's too good to not let that happen.
And Leonard stays with it. And the Spurs lead by 8.
And you have to love the fire and energy there. Kawhi makes an impact even when his number isn't called. Look at his reaction to the play.
Hill dishes to Favors. It's back to Hill. Gasol with the steal. The drive by Green, and Hayward with the block. To the inside. Here's Gobert. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. Leonard's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Brent, after signing that 4-year, $40 million contract, a lot of people thought Green left a lot of money on the table.
Well, given his play last season, he played a bit down to the contract, if there is such a thing. I think it's a blip. With LaMarcus Aldridge joining the team and Kawhi Leonard feeling himself out, Danny Green will get back in that slot quickly.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, we all know about the championships that the Spurs have won, but it's their culture that is admired around the league. Coach Popovich said, "I've been fortunate with the guys I've had come through here. My job is pretty easy when people have that character. You don't have to convince them to get over themselves or to feel responsible to each other. It makes it easier to have a team that enjoys playing together." Kevin?
All right, D.A., thanks. Being modest certainly is Coach Pop. He chose the players who fit, certainly. Here's Parker. 13 points in the game. Inside from 8.
Well, coming into the league, Kawhi Leonard was not a perimeter shooter, but he's developed into one of the league's finest. No longer a spot-up threat, though. He can create some offense on the block, able to handle the ball, and bully smaller players with that massive frame at 230, just moving defenders around.
The free throw good from Kawhi Leonard.
Getting to the foul line more and more these days. Kawhi has become the complete package.
That's also good, so he hits both free throws. Jazz trail by 10. To the middle. That's tipped. A little under 2.5 minutes gone by here in the third. Good work there as it goes. And that's 15 points for Tony Parker. And Brent, you look at the growing offensive role for Kawhi Leonard. For as many touches as he gets, he hardly ever turns the ball over.
Well, have you seen his hands, Kevin? How would you get the ball away from those things? You just don't find players who can score in isolation, space the floor, and protect the ball as well as he does.
Look at Tony Parker. What a contribution.
So there's a guy on offense knocking down shots that forces an entire team to get together and talk about what he's doing to them. That's some impressive play right there.
Look what I've done in my life. I had to count it again to make sure the money was right. They done it all.
With the break in the action, here is the 2K leaderboard to show us the league's best shooting teams last season. The Spurs second.
Hard to shoot the ball any better than they did. I mean, they weren't the best in the league, but, man, they were right there.
Jazz trail by 12. Hill kicks to Favors. It's back to Hill. He dishes it to Favors. And stolen by Aldridge. And a fast break now for the Spurs. Parker's shot is off.
Ill-advised shot there.
And he knows it. Got locked into scoring mode. Couldn't pull it back.
Taking a look now at some numbers for Hood. How he performed last season. Came in about 14 points per, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And this is the kind of strong, steady play you like to see. He's earning his keep and helping them win games.
Two shots.
No good on that one. Exum, he's checked in for George Hill. Good on the second free throw. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Passes it to Aldridge. Spurs passing it around. Parker dishes to Gasol. Rebound, Utah. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand. Hood on the wing, guarded by Green. Hood, the pass to Exum. 5 to shoot. Hayward. The 18-footer is right on the mark. Hayward's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Jazz.
I got yours.
Parker outside. Good-looking screen by Gasol. There's Green with the 3. But they'll get another chance. From past the arc. Utah with the rebound. Favors got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Gobert with a screen for Hood. 3-pointer, Hayward. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. And here's a look now at the shot chart showing the field goals attempted locations.
And the work he's doing from deep has been fun to watch. Great looks, and he's knocking them down. His ability and threat to drop those long-range bombs on a defense really makes their offense click.
Spurs leading by 9. Now here's Parker. 15 points in the game. Leonard kicks to Parker.
I'm open.
Stolen by Exum. And now the fast break Exum with the ball. And Hayward gets it to go.
And he waited for the last possible minute to get that one off. Made a sick adjustment right before he let it go.
Parker kicks to Aldridge. The dish to Gasol. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
All right, a chance to check out stats for Leonard. Last season, he played outstanding. 3rd in three-point shooting, 11th in free throw percentage. And he ended up in the top 15 in steals as well. Some of the quickest hands in the league.
Jazz trail by 7. Gobert the screen. Hayward with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. To the inside. Here's Gobert. And so he earns a trip to the line. Official saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. And the Stifle Tower, the French rejection, whichever name you want to give for Rudy Gobert, it probably speaks to his tremendous rim protection abilities, Greg.
Man, a few years back at the Combine, his wingspan measured at a record 7 feet 8.5 inches. Clearly one of the league's premier shot blockers. Very difficult to shoot a high percentage against him. And at the offensive end, he's become an excellent rebounder and finisher in traffic.
And he ends up missing both free throws. Spurs leading by 7. Parker outside. Hayward against Leonard. Shot to stop the drought. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got 8 rebounds in this game. Exum kicks to Gobert. Pass to Hayward. To the inside. Favors. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, how about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
This is his 3rd trip to the free throw line.
And the free throw line was a problem spot for him in their last game. Really struggled up there.
That one misses for Favors. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And the wide open shot from Green. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Jazz trail by 8. Exum kicks to Favors. To the paint. Here's Gobert, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. They get Paul Gasol. Well, he holds the reins to this team, and we're seeing some examples, guys.
And that's the kind of take charge leadership that every team desperately needs.
A free throw drops for Gobert. Gobert drops them both. Spurs leading by 6. Parker outside. He kicks it to Gasol. It's stolen by Gobert. Exum dishes to Favors. It's stolen by Green. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way.
Well, such smarts there. Green knows exactly where to pick his spots and how to generate some points.
And you look at Danny Green, your prototypical 3-and-D wing player, a catch-and-shoot specialist offensively.
Well, a great fit for the Spurs system after a little bit of molding. Not a super crafty ball handler, but he's got a quick release from the outside and shoots pretty well, even with a hand in his face.
And some changes here for the Spurs. Lee's checked in for Gasol. And it's Kyle Anderson in for LaMarcus Aldridge. The Jazz also changing it up. Boris Diaw's checked in for Rudy Gobert, and Alec Burks subbed in for Rodney Hood. And the second free throw, good.
A relatively rare trip to the free throw line for Green, averaging just 1 attempt per game over the course of his career.
Exum kicks to Diaw. Pass to Burks. Diaw, the screen. Jumper off the screen. The shot misses. And it's the Spurs taking it the other way. Green inside the three-point line. The offensive rebound to the paint. Parker's shot is off.
He's certainly a threat to finish those opportunities with some style and flair, but the defense did a simply outstanding job preventing that from happening.
Up the floor. Here's Leonard. It's deflected. Now Exum. He's got 5. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Exum's got 7 points in the game.
I love how he establishes his post position inside before he converts.
Anderson passes to Leonard. Count that one. And the Spurs lead by 7.
And he's showing signs now of life after going scoreless through the half.
Favors with the screen. Diaw with it. Back to Exum. Hayward outside. 6 to shoot. Favors. And that misses badly. Air ball. San Antonio leading by 7. Here's Leonard. Good. And it's Green picking up the assist. Leonard's got 11 in the second half.
And what a turnaround from the first half. I mean, he's been incredible here in the second half.
Exum kicks to Diaw. Favors with a screen on Lee. And Hayward at the stuff.
Such an intelligent passer. Diaw with the instincts and skills of a point guard. So good at finding the open fellow.
Parker left side. He feeds it to Green. Takes the assist and lays it in. Pick out the pass nicely. Green's got his 3rd basket of the night right there. Diaw, the screen. Here's Exum. 7 points in the game. Kicks it to Burks. Here's Favors. Again, Favors missing.
Yeah, it's one of those quarters where you're just incredibly frustrated that you did not impact it the way you wanted to. So nothing going right now.
Now, here's Green. He's got 9. There's the pass to Anderson. Jacks up a 3. Green, no luck.
Yeah, it's tough. His shot's been off today. Luckily, his team still has the edge in the game so far.
Feeds to Favors. Dishes to Burks. To the inside. Stolen by Anderson. Here's the break. Here's Lee. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
A brief check now of the stats for Hayward. Good season for him last year. He was around 19 points per game last year. 5 rebounds and 3 assists. He has been terrific throughout, putting up some huge numbers offensively.
He's off on the first. And the Spurs with some changes. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Leonard. Ginobili comes in for Daniel Green. And it's Mills in for Tony Parker. Lyles checked in for the Jazz. Johnson comes in for Gordon Hayward. He hits the second from the line. And the Jazz call time here.
Well, they've been turning that ball over way too much, and they really need to address this if they want to win this game. Huddle up, boys.
now let's have a look at the teams that were last year's best from the free throw line. The Spurs second.
Collectively, I mean, they had an amazing year at the free throw line. Sometimes free throw shooting can be contagious, and it seemed like everyone on their team had the hot hand.
And the Jazz with possession here, trailing by 10. Johnson kicks to Diaw. And here's Burks. He's got 7. Diaw can't hit.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on it.
Ginobili gets a wide open look. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. And the basket by Diaw. Diaw's got 7 points.
Yeah, so solid converting at the rim, the defense can't give him that look.
And Mills kicks to Anderson. Picked by Lee. Mills dishes to Anderson. Inside, here's Lee, and he lays it straight in. And the Spurs lead by 10.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
They're looking like a beaten team at this point, letting him get to the basket with such little resistance.
Now, here's Burks. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Comes up empty from 8 feet.
Now, nice work there to contest the finish inside.
The only way you're going to challenge him in that situation, you have to attack with more power.
Here's Lee. It's hauled in by Lyle. Jazz trail by 10. Here's Diaw. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, Boris Diaw's skills really fit today's NBA. He's like a point guard from the power forward position. You can run your offense through him, both at the top of the key and, of course, out of the post as he backs down defenders. He occasionally can score from down there as well. So much versatility from the power forward position.
And that one falls for Diaw. And for Diaw, you mentioned his post-up ability, Brent. Underrated strength. He can bang in the block both offensively and defensively.
Yeah, sometimes it's interesting. The lineups they have put him at the 5 spot, and he's not really a rim protector, but he moves well enough in that limited space to hold his ground. And the positives, dare I say, outweigh the negatives.
Agreed. Diaw drops them both.
Well, and it's rather odd for a guy as tricky as Diaw. He tends to spend very little time at the free throw line.
Ginobili the pass to Anderson. Lee kicks to Mills. There's the triple. Utah with the rebound.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Burks can't get it to go.
Well, the defense knew exactly how to play his man there. An outstanding effort.
And so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
Your Spurs, Kyle Anderson. At the line for 2.
First free throw is good. He makes 1 of 2 that time. Jazz trail by 9. A baseline J. Rebounded by Manu Ginobili.
Yeah, his shot just doesn't seem to be synced up right now. Here's hoping he finds it soon because his team is really going to need that production tonight.
Utah has gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. They've got the 5-on-3 advantage. And Anderson kicks to Dedmon. Ginobili dishes to Dedmon. Here's Anderson. And good. as it just snugs right down through the net. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Spurs lead by 11. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. A chance now to hear Greg Popovich talking to his team just moments ago.
Everybody got to rotate, rebound, it's pace going back. It's attack, attack, attack. That's all it is.
Greg Popovich distilling it down to one simple concept: be aggressive.
Hey guys, he knows this game so well. When they control momentum, the pace, they're much harder to beat.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Jazz trail by 11. Mills teams up with Green in the backcourt. Leonard and Aldridge, the two stars at the 3 and the 4. And it's Gasol at the center position. That's the San Antonio 5. Now here's Hood. It's stolen by Green. And Mills with a clear path to the hoop. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
For your Spurs, Patty Mills. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. Gordon Hayward's checked in for Utah. And both free throws good for Mills. Here is Hill. Inside. Kicks it out to Johnson. Here's Hood. It's stolen by Green. And Green slams it in.
Look, it's a broken record game plan on Green to take away the outside shot. So what does he do? Wiggles inside and throws it down.
Now here is Hill. The feed now to Hayward. They get a hand on it. Gobert, the screen. Out to Hood. And the clock. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. And that's now 11 points for Rodney Hood.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
And he's not a guy you can give open looks to. The D has to be better. Got to learn a lesson there.
Now here is Aldridge. Back to Mills. And Leonard has it in the corner. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. And the Spurs lead by 15. Jazz shooting 49% on the game. They'll take that. Johnson the screen. It's back to Hill. And now running it up the court. Green pushing it all the way. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Well, pick a tool out of the toolbox. The sheer number of Aldridge's move inside make him so hard not to foul. There's no doubt that the biggest free agent splash made in 2015 was the Spurs signing of LaMarcus Aldridge. They'd planned for 3 or 4 years to try and get him to San Antonio, really fitting in the mode of Tim Duncan scoring on that left block. But being close to Dallas, near his family, that was a significant factor, along with winning.
And, of course, for Aldridge, location wasn't the only attraction. Brent, the chance to win and compete for championships had to be the most important factor.
Well, he knew it was going to be a little bit of time and a little bit of sacrifice in joining San Antonio. Maybe miss a few all-star games he otherwise might have played in as a member of the Blazers. But winning the most paramount, and in time, his role will only grow as this roster turns over.
Hill passes to Gobert. No good that time. Some solid defense from Gasol. Here's Leonard. Rebound, Utah. Favors got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Hill kicks to Hood. Fires from 18. Another miss by Utah. Spurs leading by 15. Parker dishes to Aldridge. Good-looking screen by Gasol. Leonard with no one around. Again, the miss by the Spurs. The Jazz have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Hill passes to Hood. It's a hand on it. It's rebounded by Aldridge. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Parker outside. A three-pointer off the mark.
He was terrific shooting the ball in the first half, but he looks a little bit slower out there, possibly leg tired here in the second half.
Here's Leonard. Again, Leonard missing. Jazz trail by 15. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure. And didn't do anything fancy there, but didn't need to.
Nope, his only concern right now is getting the points on the board. And I don't mean style points. Nailed from three-point land.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
And the Jazz call time here. And when you think about it, speed, such a fundamental part of Parker's game. You wonder how well he'd age in the NBA.
Well, one season he almost led the league in points in the paint, and that's for a point guard. So those days are gone. He relies more on a deadly in-between game. He's the youngest of the Spurs' big three, but with his hamstring injury just 2 seasons ago, they look to manage those minutes a little bit more carefully.
Yeah, maybe a change of the game plan right now, looking at some different sets because of the matchups.
Also a good decision from the coach to settle your guys down, get into something new, and everybody on the same page.
Jazz trail by 16. Outside Hill. Down low. Here's Favors. And then Favors with the dunk.
And forget about finesse. This big fella's all about the power.
The Spurs have gone 3 of 7 from the floor in the fourth. That's a 42% mark in the quarter. Inside and stolen by Hood. The kick out to Aldridge. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Green's got his 5th assist in this one.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Now here's Hayward. He dishes it to Favors. And Derek Favors with the slam.
Yeah, he just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam. San Antonio leading by 15. Parker kicks to Green. Spurs passing it around. Hill against Parker. Here's Aldridge. Aldridge can't get that one to fall.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Favors with the screen. Hill dishes to Favors. Shoots the three. Hill, no good. San Antonio's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Parker kicks to Aldridge. Passes it to Gasol. Another one falls for San Antonio.
And I really like to see Gasol go up with the shot immediately after getting the pass. Shows how much confidence he has in himself.
Gobert, the screen. Hill passes to Favors. Shoots from 12. Again, Favors missing. San Antonio leading by 17. Leonard dishes to Parker. Back to Leonard. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Hit his teammate right in stride. That's a great assist.
Utah with the ball. Hill up top, covered by Parker. And it's Hood in the corner. Takes the three. That shot off the mark. Great D that time from Green.
Yeah, those are the shots that you expect him to make. You've seen it before, and so far, just not on his A game tonight.
Here's Aldridge. Another one falls for San Antonio.
Oh, they are putting the hammer down. A huge lead right now.
Case tonight of a game where a team does everything right. Fluid offense, lockdown defense. It's the kind of game you wish you could play every night.
Now here's Parker. There's the dish to Gasol. Inside. Here's Leonard. And there's the call on Gordon Hayward. That's his third foul of the game.
Yeah, he was boxed out and tried to get the rebound the only way he could.
And the Jazz making a change here. Exum's checked in. Here's Aldridge. Great D that time from Favors.
Now that's terrific defense at the rim. Got right in his path.
All instinctual because he knows where he needs to go and then force the opponent to do something about it.
Rodney Hood taking 2 shots.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. Both free throws good from Hood. Spurs leading by 17. To the paint. Here's Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 8th assist here tonight.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here's Exum. And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here.
Utah.
And Gasol comes to help. Three-pointer, Hayward.
And a good example of why Leonard perpetually makes the all-defensive team. You are caught on the Hawaiian Islands.
And, you know, he's a threat from deep, no doubt about it, but it just has not been there for him tonight. You might want to change your game plan a little bit offensively.
Now, here's Exum. Here's Favors, and it's sent back by Aldridge. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Green. Exum pulls it in.
Really shocking he didn't take advantage of that golden opportunity there. He needs to be much better in that situation.
Hayward kicks to Favors, and stolen by Aldridge. And they're on the break. Floats one, and the rejection by Favors. But he stays with it.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show, presented by Kia.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here. Welcome, everybody. We have the great Shaquille O'Neal and the equally great, in some minds, Kenny the Jet Smith. In this game, we'll see the San Antonio Spurs going up against the Utah Jazz. And for Utah, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. Oh, we get to check out Kawhi Leonard in this one. Hard to believe he was once known solely for his defense. He's made huge strides on the offensive end.
And those huge strides, Ernie, on the offensive end has made him an MVP candidate. I'll tell you, it's great efficiency, great defense, two-way player, as they say now, which when Shaq was in the league, everyone was a two-way player, but two-way player right now.
I don't believe you and Ernie both disrespected this guy. If you're going to say his name.
I never disrespected.
If you're going to say his name, say it right. Sugar Kate Leonard, three-point shot went from good to great. That's just one of his ways he's developed his offensive game.
Who, what, when, and Kawhi.
So now saying a guy's name correctly, Kawhi Leonard, is disrespecting him?
You got to give him the whole name. like Ernie the Man Johnson.
Oh, the man.
Kenny the Jet Smith.
I'll agree with that.
Shaquille the Real Deal, eats cereal with Three-Toe Meal O'Neal.
You know what? I kind of like what Brent Bones Berry has had to say about
What's that?
Kawhi Leonard. That when he's on you, you're on the Kauaian island.
Boo.com
I like that too.
/ you ever say that. That's terrible.
That.
Stop it.
I like Sugar
That's
K.
terrible.
I like
That's terrible.
Kawhi.
He's one of our colleagues, and you're killing him.
Kawhi, would you even think that's something funny?
When Kawhi would you think that happened?
Yeah.
No.
My. All right, whatever. Kevin Harlan.
Kawhi, are we here?
Kawhi, are we here?
It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Joined in the booth with Greg Anthony and Brent Berry, this is Kevin Harlan. Our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Looking at San Antonio, they took the win in their last game against the Heat in Miami.
And it seems odd to say, given that they won that pretty easily, but really they did not look especially strong in that game.
And you know as well as I do that the coaches had a long laundry list of things that they could have done better that night, but still, it turned out to be a good win for them.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, Pau Gasol is one of the real humanitarians in the NBA. An ambassador for UNICEF, he concerns himself with a lot more than just basketball. Jerry West said of Gasol, you can feel the warmth, the goodness in him. A real gentleman. If you're around him, you can't help but like him. Kevin?
A gentle giant, David, for sure. Thanks. And these teams are good at grinding it out in the half-court sets. Brent, what type of player flourishes when the game slows down like it is now?
When you have a guy, Kevin, who can break down his primary defender at any point in a half-court set, that's when you're in trouble defensively. He's looking beyond the first defender and ready to set up the next play.
And so off the tip, it's Utah. And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Hill pairs up with Hood in the backcourt. Favors and Gobert, the defensive big men pair. And it's Hayward in at the 3 slot. Now here's Hayward. Really played well against the Clippers in his last outing. Offensive rebound. Nice ball movement by Utah. Hood for 3. It's rebounded by Aldridge. Utah's on defense. They come into this having outplayed the Clippers last game.
And guys, they could have won that game on the strength of their offense alone. It was that good.
Impressive to see that type of offensive onslaught on the road. They had the crowd stunned. Those fans couldn't believe how thoroughly their guys got dismantled tonight.
Here's Hayward. That's tipped. And a slam dunk by Favors.
If you give him an inch of space, he's going to make you pay.
And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Parker outside. At the elbow, it's Gasol. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker.
Yeah, and that's what you want from your point guard. Parker distributing the ball wonderfully on that possession.
Favors with the screen. Hill dishes to Hood. And it's Hood again missing.
They're 1 of 4 here to start, looking to get into a flow offensively. And you can see the break slowed down for him to...
And he makes the first, but misses the second.
The team struggling to come back. He really wanted all of those free throws.
We've got 1:23 left in the fourth quarter. Gasol kicks to Leonard. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. Hayward, and so he's picked up his final foul. He will sit for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and luckily they've got terrific depth at that position. If there's one spot on the floor where they can afford to lose somebody, that would probably be it.
And the first one drops. Hill, he's checked in for Dante Exum. Leonard hits them both. And I saw a study recently, Brent, that home court advantage isn't what it used to be.
Well, home court advantage is about a point to a point and a half. I read that very same article, Kevin. So it's interesting.
You sent it to me. You remember that? You sent that article
Oh,
to me.
you read the things I sent to you.
Of course I do.
Well,
when you send it, that's a priority list. Yeah.
That's a first. So what I like about it, Kevin, is the fact that the three-point line is really changing that huge disparity between what it is that a home court advantage used to be and what it is now. Still vitally important, I think, for young teams throughout the course of the regular season to get themselves in a position to have home court advantage. As slight as it might be, it is still one.
Now, here is Hill, following the miss by LaMarcus Aldridge. Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. And stolen by Favors. Down low, Hood. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. They get Paul Gasol.
So I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Elbow. 2.
At the line of the Jets, Rodney Hood. At the line for 2.
That free throw good from Hood. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Gasol. Lee comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Leonard. And it's Mills in for Parker. Utah also making some changes. Trey Lyles comes in for Gobert. And Alec Burks subbed in for George Hill. Guys, you've got to think a basket here would seal it.
No question. That would be all she wrote.
Dedmon kicks to Ginobili. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Dishes it to Lee. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Outside Hood. From the arc. And the rebound goes to David Lee. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. Once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Pal, how did you get into this game and be so effective offensively and in rhythm?
Oh, I just got to come out really aggressive, just trying to find the boards, just forget about the shots that I can miss, or if I don't get a certain amount of touches, I just got to be aggressive and I got to get in the paint. So that's how I'm most effective, and that's what gets me going too.
Yeah, you were getting it done inside tonight, and that led to the win. Thanks, pal. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Brent Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And coming up next, the postgame show with Ernie Johnson, Shaq, and Kenny the Jet.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you. Superb. And now let's move on to the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Kawhi Leonard. It looked like he was shot out of a cannon coming out of the half. Beyond aggressive, he completely hijacked the pace of the game.
There's a very short list of the league's best player, and Kawhi Sugar K. Leonard name should be on it. Defensively, oh yeah, you heard it here first, he's the top guy. And offensively, guess what? Ding, 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 newsflash, he's right up there too. I'm really happy to see how far he's come. Love watching him dominate a game like this one. Sugar K. Leonard, because his game is sweet.
He was a threat every time they fed him the ball. He was in attack mode offensively. So much confidence. Wow, unbelievable.
And that'll wrap things up. Thank you for joining us. For Shaquille O'Neal, for Kenny the Jet Smith, for Kevin Harlan, wherever he might be, and for the rest of the 2K Sports crew, the best in the business. This is Ernie Johnson. Good night, everyone.